Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing absolutely incredible and that you're all having a great day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So we got some news about things that have been happening within the cryptocurrency space. If you've been following the channel for a while, this will be abundantly clear as to why or when this happened. I need everyone to really understand, like really get it. Listen, I was just looking at comments and I was just looking at stuff on Twitter. And I saw someone mention, he's like, dude, we get it. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I'll maybe try and stop phrasing it in that way. Like, I understand, but it's more of a, I want you to continue to absorb the information that I'm giving you every single day so that you have a broader understanding of exactly what's taking place within this market. This news popped up and it was not as popular as I assumed that it was going to be. I don't get why news stories. What was the other really weird one? We had something like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It wasn't about a t-shirt, but it was something along those lines. It ends up being super popular news. But anything that shows Bitcoin's staying power or interest from other markets or the wealthy tends to not garner that much attention as much as I would, previously assume that it would have. Edmund de Rothschild, Swiss SA. I said all that with my pinky in the air because it's very fancy. The family-owned banking giant of the prominent European banking dynasty holds $4.2 million in Bitcoin exchange traded funds. This should come as no surprise, but in case you didn't know, yes, I think it would have been weird to even assume for a millisecond that the Rothschilds did not have some allocation into Bitcoin. One of the more annoyingly confusing things over the last years, it's years with like 7 S's on it, has been the discussions that I've had on this channel where I was like, no, I'm fairly certain that BlackRock has been buying Bitcoin for a long time. But if it does not explicitly say so, whether it be on the news, if no one in the family has come forward, people just simply don't believe or assume that these people are not privy to the news and the information that we've been getting. All rich people know each other. All super rich people definitely know each other, and they share information back and forth as to what the new trends are. When you have hundreds of millions of billions of trillions of dollars, you begin to allocate your money in as many different places as possible to make sure that you not all your eggs in one basket, especially if you have 1 trillion eggs. So this is very similar to the rumors that we were getting years ago. Very similar to the rumors we were getting years ago of, I won't even say the names of the countries, but these places around the world who were buying Bitcoin. When we got news, I think it was 2018, 2019, that BlackRock was actually already in Bitcoin. No one seemed to care until their actual filing for a Bitcoin ETF at the end of 2023. And this is also very similar as well. Because if you think that this family is just getting into Bitcoin now, you are terribly mistaken. They've been in the market for a while. There is still a gigantic difference between an allocation of a securitized version of Bitcoin and holding the actual Bitcoin yourself. These families, these companies, these institutions, these banks, all are holding physical Bitcoin. But in the name of diversification, you make sure that you also have the ETF's version of it as well. According to a recent regulatory filing, its own $4.2 million worth of shares of BlackRock's iShares, Bitcoin, iTrust, iBit, and 82,121 worth of shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, as well. Edmond de Rothschild Swiss is part of the Edmond de Rothschild Group, I could have guessed that, which boasts roughly $174 billion in assets under management. And then it goes to talk about basically how rich they are, like not even joking, like it just kind of continues on talking about them. I could only find this news on a couple of websites. I once again repeat, I thought that this would have been far more popular, but apparently, got me. So here's the form for the SEC filing. I couldn't figure this out if I tried. There's so much information on here and so many different companies and so many different numbers and letters. But apparently this is the link that everyone's linking to about this actual information. So yeah, thought it would have been more popular. Maybe people don't know who the Rothschilds are. That's also a thing. I know a lot of people who aren't in finance. If you say KPMG, if you say Fidelity to them, they don't know these things. And I was bewildered at how few people actually even knew BlackRock until just a couple of years ago. So maybe the Rothschild name simply doesn't ring a bell. For those of you who are unaware, the rumors are that they are the richest family on the planet. So the rumors say, apparently in possession of trillions of dollars cumulatively amongst all of them. They're believed to be the richest family on the planet. So it should have been logic that they owned some Bitcoin, and I'm sure they own actual physical Bitcoin, on the actual chain. But of course, they'll own the ETFs as well. So yeah, popular, not that popular news. That's the Rothschilds own Bitcoin through the ETF. Yeah. Okie dokie. Moving along. Also it's supposed to be popular news. So apparently someone found out that there was a 1.75 trillion Shiba Inu purchase on Robinhood. I believe it was Robinhood. It was yep, on Robinhood. Yeah, this also made popular news as well. Shiba Inu has not been in the news as much as it was before previously. Years and years ago, Shiba Inu and Terra Luna Classic, there we go, used to walk hand in hand down the street daily with cryptocurrency news. A lot of the Shiba Inu news we've gotten as of late, twice in the last 30-day period, was about people burning their Shiba Inu to try and reduce the coin supply. And I guess this has something to do with it as well. So 1.75 trillion Shiba Inu coins were, I think, purchased and then transferred from Robinhood. Question mark. No one knows where the coins went, what they're going to be doing. It was two different purchases of 875 billion Shiba Inu coins each. I know the news we've been getting before is that apparently people are hard at work trying to make sure that these people burn as many coins as possible. The now legend, we can only say, the legend now is that people are hoping that Shiba Inu gets to 1 cent by basically burning enough coins. The coins also burn during transactions, so we can only assume that if the market really picks back up, that we're also going to see more coins being burnt as well. But I have a strange inkling that this news was lightly more popular than the Rothschild news. So that just goes to show you where we are as a market. Yeah, 1.75 trillion, that's a huge amount. 1.75 trillion Shiba Inu coins were purchased on Robinhood and then I think taken off the platform as well. So what a life to be a time. Yeah. Let's move on. Also sure, Why not? I'll tell you what's going on, and then I'll tell you what's going on. Bancolombia Group, one of the leading banks, in Latin America and the biggest bank in Colombia, is entering the crypto business with the launch of Wenia, Wenia, a cryptocurrency exchange. So, oh gosh. Years ago, a lot of countries claimed that they hated the cryptocurrency space. They knew exactly what it was. Hindsight 2020 for all of us, we can see that they were lying, basically. Not saying Colombia in general, it was more of a blanket lie over the entire cryptocurrency space. We had news in 2020 that a number of countries were looking to launch their own cryptocurrency exchanges. I mean, from Colombia to the Philippines, South Africa, you name it. It was kind of all across the board. The idea was that Binance and Coinbase were making too much money. Cool. Makes logical sense. And therefore, the countries were looking for a way to discourage people within their borders from actually using these crypto exchanges so that the country could get the money itself. The idea is, if Binance and Coinbase are making billions of dollars from the fees of their users, if you can get people to stop using these crypto exchanges and therefore use the local country one, any of those fees or transaction whatevers would be going directly into the hands of the country itself. A lot of countries tried launching their own crypto exchanges. They didn't work. No one was using them. And this is also why you may have noticed in the last 9+ months why there's a lot of discussion around like regulatory enforcement, not even clarity, enforcement around the world, where these countries aren't claiming that they're going to ban Bitcoin, but they're all like, no, we're gonna really get this under control. Because they know that crypto is here to stay. They understand that it's very popular. It's literally a money-making machine. But the issue ends up being, if we are seeing countries who have a decreasing use from their population of using their actual local fiat currency, the other problem then becomes, well, if they're not using our local currency and they're buying more and more crypto and buying more Bitcoin, the other problem is, well, they're not using, we're not seeing any of that additional revenue. So you may tax the cryptocurrency exchange, but you're getting 10, 15, maybe even lower percent, depending on what the corporate tax rate is, as opposed to the billions of dollars that you would have gotten if you had your own crypto exchange. Wenia is seeking to disrupt Bitso and Binance's dominance in the cryptocurrency exchange industry in Colombia and offer a Colombian peso pegged stablecoin as part of its asset portfolio. A lot of countries years ago were talking about launching their own central bank digital currencies. You might have noticed that a lot of those discussions have kind of, that was supposed to be flying away. I don't know, it sounded more like a Super Mario kind of sound. A lot of that discussion has gone out the window, and we've had news for the last year or two, not as prominently anymore as it was, but a lot of countries are now trying to make their own stable coins. This was obvious from the get-go. Back in 2018, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Third Bank announced that they were going to be making their own crypto. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized and can be used by anyone at any time, and they are permissionless. These were basically tokens or what we know now as a stable coin. The main issue, geez Louise, the main issue was that JP Morgan Chase created their own stable coin and wanted other banks to use their coin. The problem is that's not how banks work. Bank of America, all these other banks don't want to say, are you paying in Chase's stable coin today? No, they ended up, they don't want that. So what they ended up doing is they were making their own stable coins. Every bank was literally trying to make their own bank and their own system on their own blockchains. And you can only imagine how terrible that went. So then we got news sometime in 2020 that JP Morgan coin was doing just great, and it's like, you're just, as JP Morgan normally does, you're just lying to the masses at this point. So this has morphed into the idea of a stable coin. We even heard rumors a year or two ago that a lot of these stable coins would actually be built on top of Ethereum, and that was a huge push in the network usage, but also in price. if all these countries are going to be making their own coins, their own stable coins, and they're built on top of Ethereum, well, guess what, buddy boy? We're going to have a $10,000 Ethereum, but another one of those situations where like the people kind of went silent and stopped talking about it. Basically because, you know, if you announce that all the world's governments are going to be making their own stable coins and they're doing it on top of one chain, you know. Also leading into the discussion that these countries have also been buying and paying attention to crypto for a very long time. So the Colombian peso peg stablecoin is, and I say this in the nicest way, is probably going to flop. The most popular ones are the ones that are pegged to the US dollar. They may see some success, but the issue is that, and I once again nicely, Colombia doesn't have the same economic strength as the entirety of the US or the entirety of Europe. So even while euro pegged stablecoins don't see that much success, a Colombian peso pegged stablecoin is not going to see the kind of returns that they are actually hoping for. It's literally about liquidity. So the stablecoins that are going to continue being the most popular, at least for right now, are going to be Tether, and it's going to be the USDC, the Circle coin from Coinbase and Circle. It's just general forms of logic. And it also, you know, we'll see in the future if the Colombian cryptocurrency exchange is also going to do well as well. This is why we're seeing so much backlash. And pay attention specifically to where the backlash is literally aiming at. In the last 4 years, a lot of the backlash from different countries has mainly resolved around mainly Binance, but then you also see some stories around Coinbase as well. They're making an enormous amount of money. And the issue is that these countries, not just Colombia, once again, a huge blanket, lied about being in crypto, lied about the cryptocurrency space, lied to people in their countries about cryptocurrencies when they should have years ago just simply said, okay, in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, we're going to regulate this space. That's why Hong Kong did it so quick and why I was, giving them golf claps, because they said they were going to do it and they did it. You regulate this stuff back in 2014. You say people are into it. We're going to make sure that they have an avenue to do so. So even before Coinbase really got on their feet, because I think Coinbase launched in 2012. In 2015, imagine if Colombia, the US, 8 countries in Europe, South Africa, and multiple other places had launched their own crypto exchange. The US SEC and all these other regulators had given proper cryptocurrency regulation. People would be using these government crypto exchanges. Instead, everyone stands there, regulation, I don't know what's going on. Regular what? They don't know what's going on. So of course, Binance and Coinbase end up taking over everything. And then it takes them years to launch their own crypto exchanges. No one wants to use that. That's why, for those of you who don't remember, this is why South Korea has a kimchi premium. I hate using that term. Why South Korea has a premium on Bitcoin. Because in 2018, the country started making their own crypto exchanges, or they had South Korean countries who were making their own crypto exchanges. And they basically, 2018 and said, hey, if you want to deal in crypto, you have to use these exchanges. As Bitcoin is incredibly finite, these crypto exchanges are essentially struggling to get more Bitcoin all the time. When the prices of Bitcoin goes up in South Korea, it really goes up because the only way for people in South Korea to accumulate crypto is through the country-run, country-owned cryptocurrency exchanges. That's how you do business. You make sure, okay, you want it, cool, we got it. You got to go through us. So once again, not saying that this Bancolombia thing is not going to succeed. It's just more of a, you guys are like 10 years late. So who knows how this will manifest itself in some sort of way in the future. But it's like, regulate and get stuff together now. You can't launch you launching a stable coin 7 years after Tether? For those of you who missed the news as well, this was about 8 days ago. Between Tether, Circle Coin, and one other one that's not as popular. In April alone, They did $2.2 trillion worth of transactions. So now it's making a lot more sense as to why all these countries and these governments are now getting into it. They ignored it for so long. It's insane. Why would you ignore this space? You know that the US dollar has lost 99% of its value to Bitcoin in 10 years? 99.9% of its value. At least they're paying attention now, because there are still going to be countries, for those of you who also just missed it, I think it was Nigeria. I want to say Nigeria. I'm pretty sure it's Nigeria. Just announced that they're banning transactions between their local fiat currency and crypto. So you literally can't put money into the market. I wonder why they're doing that. You always have two lanes in life. You see a trend. There's a way to make money from it. People are making billions and sometimes trillions of dollars. Do we allow it and regulate it, or do we ban it? Which way can we make money the best? Like what? What are you talking about? These people, it's so weird. Like, you don't know how to make money? Colombia is launching Wenia. Does that mean something in Spanish? Because Wenia, okay, a cryptocurrency exchange that will disrupt the crypto industry space. And listen, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Trying to take market share from Binance and Bitso, crypto incumbents in Latin America and Colombia, by offering high levels of security linked to the financial group to newcomers in the space. What levels of security can you offer me more than Binance? According to Juan Carlos Mora, president of Bancolombia Group, this is the accumulation of... That's crazy. That's crazy. He said this is the accumulation of almost 10 years. That means they've been working on this for 10 years. You know the number 10? It comes after 9. This is the accumulation of almost 10 years of working on solutions that involve easing the adoption of digital assets in blockchain-based products in Colombia. What the fudge did I just say? I literally just said 2014. Since 2014, they've been working on this. We got news about Binance at the end of 2016. They launched mid-2027, and they're the largest crypto exchange on the planet. 10 years is crazy. It does not take 10 years. He said, with Wenia, we are strengthening financial inclusion while contributing to the continued development of the country's digital economy, end quote. Listen, I will tip my hat in your direction, because at least you understand how to make money, that you are not trying to ban crypto or talking about how it's evil. You get it. You know there's money to be made in this market. What? Cool. Anytime, not every country is going to literally kick open the doors for crypto, but if the door moves open and is a very slow creak, at least it's opening. Totally fine. But 10 years is wild. So cool. We've been getting this news quite a lot recently. I mean, 7 or 8 different countries since the beginning of this year have been talking about launching their own crypto exchanges and all these other things. At least progress is being made in some sort of way. I'm always happy to hear it took us 10 years. Here we are, as opposed to being let's ban it. Because those countries are going to be broke. Brokety broke in the future. Can you imagine ignoring crypto right now? What if Bitcoin goes to $500,000 next year and there are countries banning it right now? You're trying to lose money. Okay, you want to go broke. Cool, I got it. That's the Colombia is launching Wenia from Bancolombia. Fantastic. Okay. What's up? I won't say the last part. Okay. Let's move on. Also in, I guess, popular news, but this is kind of 2017, 2018-ish. Long time ago, JP Morgan Chase tried to be funny or clever, and they started a phrase called blockchain, not Bitcoin. Looking back on it, it's terrible because we now realize that they were like lying. And the idea was that banks and companies and corporations would ignore Bitcoin and no one would ever use it. Once again, back in 2017, 2018, the olden days with JP Morgan Chase. And they kept on saying that everyone was only paying attention to blockchain. So this news became really popular, but it's reminiscent of, and I almost said an older time, geez Louise, of like an earlier time within the cryptocurrency space. There's it says German state-owned, ooh, bougie, a German state-owned bank called Kreditanstalt für Wiederaufbau. Yeah, Kreditanstalt für Wiederaufbau is a credit institute for building or building again, is how you would, I guess, translate it. They're going to be issuing a digital bond on a blockchain. So it's not spectacular, but this has happened for a number of years. This is also it doesn't even say which blockchain it's on. It might be a personal one that they have. A number of years ago, once again, a lot of companies and banks were already issuing digital bonds, digital assets, digital securities, their own digital coins within the company, all on top of Ethereum. If you look at the list of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, it's all these banks and companies and, countries who are already issuing, like there are a number of countries who also issue supply chains. Like the information is on Ethereum. Like they issue all their information there. So the news years ago was that anyone, how like I always say, like sometimes like when we get the news, I'm like, years ago, people would have gone wild over this because all the news that we used to get was something similar to this. It was like a company's using blockchain, not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, literally blockchain. And it's fantastic because, they're moving further and further into the space. But now that's transformed into like, oh, snaps. Entire countries are mining Bitcoin and owning Bitcoin and trading with Bitcoin and buying up more Bitcoin. And, and everyone's like, well, maybe if Bitcoin's price moved up, I'd be more inclined to be excited, like that kind of thing. So, yeah, this is another, for those of you who missed it, German state-owned bank, the other one that we heard from a week ago. The other German bank, it was the largest federal bank in Germany. There we go. The largest federal bank in Germany. They're also buying up Bitcoin right now. Like we know that they are. Like it's not a guessing game. We heard that they're actually buying up Bitcoin right now, and they're offering Bitcoin custody services to their richest, of course, clients at first, because this is how it always works out. They do the wealthy people, and then it always trickles down to us. But they said, I think by October, November, they're also going to have their own crypto trading something securities platform. So yeah, everyone's getting into crypto, but this one was far more popular than I was expecting it to actually be. So cool. Yeah, that's the Kreditanstalt für Wiederaufbau. Bank is getting into the blockchain game. Crazy, wonderful, can't believe it. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think that might do it for this video. How's everyone doing? What's been going on? What's everyone buying right now? I'm kind of all over the place. I mean, I'm kind of in every single corner at the moment. I think my mind is, the term's not wandering, but like, I focus so long on the cryptocurrency space that a lot of times I forget that I have other hobbies and stuff like that. That's where I was telling you a couple videos ago, like I've been buying a lot of comics. And then also I've been on VV a lot more as well. Like some of the comics on VV are wild and the prices are like, okay. So yeah, I'm getting back into like buying NFT comics again. I'm buying a lot of physical comics. I'm buying a lot of like Pokemon card packs, I like opening. It's really it's doing something for me. I'm buying a lot of crypto. I'm kind of just like, I don't know, like squirreling stuff away, kind of like preparing for the future, waiting to see where the cryptocurrency market is going to go, as everyone else is as well. We're getting so much news of accumulation and buying and all these other things like that, and all these you've been seeing the videos of all these analysts talking about where prices are going to go. We still, for what it's worth, are 2 months away. 2 months away from the first predictions of a $100,000 Bitcoin. I feel like everyone's waiting a bit too heavily on what the Fed is doing and stuff like that. But I mean, this is quite common in crypto as well. No one really ever looks at the metrics. No one is figuring out that, already before the halving, we should have been above a $100,000 Bitcoin, just based on the metrics and the usage and the amount of people getting into the space. But as always, when prices went up to like 70 something or so thousand before, I saw the comments popping back up of everyone talking about they wish that prices would dip a little bit more so that they could buy. I keep seeing a lot of people talking about, their dream amount of Bitcoin that they want to own. So as always, buddy boy, you wished for it, you got it. I hope that you've been taking advantage of the last couple of weeks of lower prices, because they will not last forever. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See